Buying, repairing, and flipping real estate is a great way to generate really great profits. However, going into any deal, it's really important to evaluate each property and determine whether it's going to be a winner or a loser. To do this, we're going to go over today how to do this successfully, how to evaluate each property and determine whether it's going to be a winner or a loser. So there's three main components that we got to take a look at, and they're all related to expense or price, or they're factors that go into how to make an offer on a property so that it's going to be a win. The first point here that we're going to look at, it's the after repair value, ARV. This is an analysis of the current market, and it's based on resales in the property or in the area. What we're going to want to do is pull out a list of all of the properties that have sold within the last 3 to 6 months, I should say 0 to 6 months, that are in the same neighborhood, same general area as our subject property. We want to look at sales, and not listings, but sales. You can list a property for whatever you want, but it's only worth what somebody's going to pay for it. So we want to see what other consumers or retail buyers are paying for other like properties. That leads me to my next point here, is similar properties. A townhouse is not the same as a single family home. A rancher is not the same as a colonial or a Tudor. If a property has 10 acres of land, there's going to be a different value to something that is a half-acre lot. So we want to make sure that we are comparing from these other sales, other properties in the same area that are the same type of property, same number of bedrooms and bathrooms, to our subject property. The next thing we want to look at are the days on market, the DOM. Days on market have a lot to do with the evaluation, and it's a lot of times overlooked. In different markets and different neighborhoods even, some neighborhoods are hotter than others. There's a high demand for people wanting to live in that area. This is often caused by school districts, or maybe it's just the neighborhood. I don't know. But you want to take a look at this number because it'll give you an idea of how quickly you should anticipate selling the property. So from the day that all your construction's complete and the time you're going to be able to put it on the market until the time that it sells, that's going to be reflected on the days on market. I typically will stay away from anything that is more than 90 days for a completely renovated property that's sitting on the market. If I see consistently that properties, it's taking 180 to 360 days for a property to sell, it's probably a good indicator that you're going to have some problems moving your property when it's done. The next step to evaluating an investment or a flip is going to be taking a look at the repairs. What construction are you going to need to do on our subject property to bring it to the condition of these after repair values? Remember, these are the properties at the top of the market. They're the ones that are completely renovated or close or in just excellent condition. So if our subject property has builder's grade everything, and we're basing it on an after repair value of properties that have, high-end everything, tile all over the kitchen, we got granite countertops in the tile all over the bathroom, granite countertops in the kitchen, we got travertine floors in the entryway, and beautiful hardwoods throughout. It's going to take a good amount of money to bring even that, our subject property, even if it's in good condition, up to the value of that after repair property. So we want to look at comparables, look at their condition, and determine what's it going to cost to bring that subject property up to that higher end so that it's ready to go. Then the third thing that we got to look at here are the other expenses. These are the things that are often overlooked until it's closing day. When you thought you were going to make $50,000 and you see the settlement sheet and you're only making $25,000. That's because of things like taxes, both transfer tax and property tax that has to be paid. Your holding costs. If you have a mortgage on the property, or it's a private loan, you're probably going to have to make monthly payments to that. Well, if you're making those monthly payments, what's that costing you? What's the daily cost here? Financing. If you have a loan, if you're doing with a private lender or a hard money lender, you've got money that's got to be put out there. If you're doing it through more conventional means, you still have monthly payments. You may have some points that you got to pay. There may be inspection fees, things like that. Then you've got the sales costs. If you're not a licensed realtor, you probably going to want to hire somebody to go out and sell your property. Yes, there's a cost to it, but a lot of times people try to save money by not hiring a realtor and trying to sell it on their own. And 3-6 months go by and nobody's seen their property, nobody's made an offer, when if they'd hired a realtor in the first place, it would have actually saved them money. So, you got your sales costs. And then you have concessions. Let's say the home inspector comes in and sees that there's a railing on the back deck needs to be replaced. You don't think it needs to be replaced, but guess what? You're not going to be able to sell it without replacing it. Extra costs. The seller says, look, I'd like a seller's concession for a percentage of the closing costs. That can be several $1,000s. But this is all stuff that has to be taken into consideration when you're evaluating a property to determine if it's a good flip or it's not a good flip. Now, as a rule of thumb, I've got a formula that I use when evaluating a property. And my offer on any piece of real estate is going to be equal to 65% of the after repair value minus my construction costs. So if we have a property that the after repair value is going to be $100,000 and we determine that our construction costs are $25,000, we got $100,000 times 65% is $65,000 minus $25,000 in construction, and that gives us a $40,000 offer price. This 65%, the 35% offset there helps us compensate or adjust on our offer for costs like our holding costs, our miscellaneous expenses, the sales costs, all of those things, and also our profit. If you want to make more money, adjust this downwards. If it's a higher price property, 500 plus, you may have to adjust this upward because a lot of the expenses are not going to be a percentage. They're going to be, flat expenses. So anyway, that's how we evaluate a flip to determine whether it's a good or bad investment. Best of luck in your real estate investing, and we'll see you next time.